One.
Welcome to My5 Fitness Monday Morning Mobility. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Bulletproof Shoulder Series and kind of how that can benefit you, some different exercises that you guys can do to help improve overall shoulder and scapular stability. And I got my guy DJ with me today. He's going to help me go over some of these exercises. We talk a lot about mobility in here. We go over Kelly Starrett's program. We do a lot of individual mobility. We do a lot of stuff before class, after class, and whatnot. All the mobility in the world is great, but also it's really important to make sure that we also have good stability then as well, especially for the shoulders. We do a lot of pressing in here. We do a lot of overhead snatching, those kind of things then too, overhead squatting as well. And we want to make sure that the shoulders and the scapula are really nice and solid. You've got a really good solid platform for those things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple different exercises that you guys can do at home a couple times a week. And we'll start with DJ right now. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over what we call the side plank crossover. So what DJ is going to do, he's going to try to make a nice straight line with his body. He's going to stack his feet. If this isn't stable enough, what he can do then is go one foot in front of the other. That way then too. But I'll have you try both feet on top of each other. The elbow is going to be underneath this shoulder. And then all DJ's going to do is just lift his hip up. Here we go. And then what he's going to do with his right hand here is going to reach nice and tall to the ceiling. And then all DJ is going to do then is, with a nice straight line, he's going to reach underneath his body as far as he can, and then reset. And when he comes back up, I want him to really think about keeping his shoulder blades and his scapula nice and tight together. So he really wants to think about retraction of that scapula every time that he comes back up. So what DJ is going to do is he's going to knock out about 20 reps per side. So let's go a couple more. So 18, 19, 20, let's say. Okay, and then all he would do is you just flip over, do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to do that for about 4 to 5 sets for about 20 reps apiece. That's going to be exercise number 1. Okay, number 2, DJ is going to set up in the push-up position. So hands right underneath the shoulders. You want to get in a nice, good, solid push-up position, hands just outside the shoulders and right underneath the shoulders. And then what he's going to do is he's going to come up in a push-up position. His big thing that he wants to think about is keeping this nice strong midline. So I don't want him to have an over-exaggerated lumbar curve. So he's going to lift those hips a little bit. Abs and ribs are in nice and tight and pulled down. And then what he's going to do with his shoulder blades is he's going to let his shoulders drop and his chest drop toward the floor. And then he's just going to reset back up to the top. So come all the way back up, kind of over-exaggerate that curve again. He's going to come all the way back down, kind of going through a good full range of motion, all the way up. Come all the way back down. He's going to do that for 20 reps. There we go. So what you really want to think about on this one then too is make sure to keep the ribs and abs in nice and tight and hold a nice strong midline as you're dropping through the shoulders. Arms stay nice and straight. Okay, that's exercise number 2. You want to do the same thing for about 4 to 5 sets for about 20 reps. Okay? All right, exercise number 3. He's just going to find a bench. All he's going to do is he's going to lie flat on the bench. He's going to put his chest down nice and tight to the bench. And then he's going to do 2 different things. So the first one he's going to do is we call a T. So with his arms nice and straight, if he can. Now, if the bench is too low for this, you can use a box. You can put your chest up onto a box, or you can elevate the bench a little bit longer or a little bit higher. And then what he's going to do is he's going to go thumbs up, and then the same type of thing. So he wants to keep his shoulder blades down and back. And then what I want him to think about is he's going to lift those arms up. He's going to give me about 5 reps. And every time he comes up to the top, he's thinking about retract the shoulder blades, pull those shoulder blades nice and tight together. He's going to do that for 5 reps. And then he's going to, at the 5th rep, he's going to come up and he's going to hold for 5 seconds. So he's going to come back up to the top, keeping his shoulder blades nice and tight together. And he's going to hold for 5 seconds. And then he's going to do it again. 5 reps, 3, 4, 5, and then he's going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then he'll go again. He wants to do that about 4 to 5 times. Okay? If you want to make this a little more difficult, you're going to grab lightweight. So like 2.5, maybe 5s at the very most. He's going to do the same thing then again. Thumbs are facing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then he'll go again. Okay, second exercise in this little group, he's going to do what we call a W. So he's going to make a little goalpost with his hands and his arms. He's going to come up to the top, make this little W shape. He's gonna do basically the same thing. When he comes up to the top though, I want him to really think about getting his pinkies up toward the sky. So he's gonna open all the way up. Same thing, shoulders are down and back, and he's pulling his shoulder blades together. So 5 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he's gonna hold for 5 seconds, keeping those shoulder blades nice and tight together, down and then back, okay? So that's a number 2 for that series. The last exercise we're gonna do, we're gonna go over a little shoulder, we call the crossover symmetry. So you guys can use the actual crossover symmetry bands that we have. Each one of these bands indicates a different weight depending on whatever your strength level is, okay? So if you're somebody that's kind of getting into this for the first time, go with something a little bit lighter. The other thing you can use then too is an individual band then too. You guys can wrap around one of the columns of a squat rack. You could set up 2 bands if you want to go that way then too. That works either way. Okay, so what DJ is going to do is he's going to grab actually a couple of the lighter bands for this first series. He's going to cross those bands over. DJ is going to take a step back so there's a little bit of tension in that band so the band is not slacked out. And then what he's going to do is he's going to go high, wide, and then low. So on the high, what he's going to do first, he's going to keep his ribs and abs in nice and tight. So he's holding this nice, strong, tall midline through his spine. He's going to retract his shoulder blades back first. So he's going to set that shoulder back first. Second thing that he's going to do then is he's going to come over the top. So he's going to pull those hands over, palms are facing forward, and he's going to hold for just a second, and then drop the hands. There we go. Come up, hold for a second, out to the side, and then come back to the center. And then the last one, he's going to pull nice and low, and then come back up to the top. Okay? So he'll do this same sequence, always coming back, setting the shoulder each time, and then pulling wide, and then pulling low. So high, wide, and then low. There we go. Excellent. He wants to do that for about 4 to 5 sets of about 5 to 6 reps per high, wide, and low each time. Okay? That's what we call the Bulletproof Shoulder Series. It's a great little series you guys can do a couple times a week. Get it in. It's going to help develop better shoulder and scapular stability for those things like overhead press and overhead squat. Thanks, guys.